Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload, and today we've got a game between Zuka Sajini and Vampywurm on Odyssey, the latter edition. In the top left-hand corner of the map, we have the red Zerg player. It is Zuka Sajini. And in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, representing Sloth Esports, it is the blue Protoss player, Vampywurm. Might recognize the name Vampywurm. He was on the channel in the early days, back 2.5 years ago. When I got this thing started, he was one of the first people to consistently send me replays, and for that I'm super happy. It's been a while. It's been a while, though, and he actually started out, I believe, in Diamond when he started sending me these. He has since long ago crossed over into the Masters level, which is what this replay is, and it should be a good one. People don't send me replays that are boring. Let's just say that. If they send it directly to my email address, generally means they're proud of it or it was really weird in some way, like a crazy base trade or some weird strategy they had to fight against. So looking forward to see how this one is going to shake out. Also, I am working on getting new thumbnails. It's time for a switch up, I think is what we're doing here. People, I realized as I was watching YouTube a while ago that the thumbnails really matter. Like, even if it's from a channel that I know, and it's a channel that I respect and I love, if the thumbnail doesn't catch my eye, there is a less of a chance that I will actually click on it. So, interesting bit of a realization there. Cybernetics Core coming up for a Vampywurm, a second gateway. He is going for that second gateway before expansion, so it's not a one-gater. Not a one-gate expand by any stretch of the imagination. It almost kind of looks like a PvP build, except doesn't have everything clustered around the Nexus. He is walling off. So I think he knows it's a Zerg. This is interesting. Gonna see if Zuka Sajini is ready for this. Bonding pool just about done, and the Cybercore is not done yet, so no Stalkers or Adepts can start construction until then. So I think we're okay. I think Zuka Sajini is just fine. Going for that hatch first, extractor into pool. Got that gas income coming in very, very nicely. So going for speed on his Lings, immediate speed for those Zerglings. And then does he pull? Yes, then he pulls 2 off of gas, keeps the 1 going. He's going to drone up a little bit here, probably trying to take a third based on nothing. He doesn't know whatever is going on their side of the map. He hasn't drone scouted. He doesn't know if there's an expansion or not. If there's an expansion for Vampywurm, it's pretty smart to do that, but here come the Adepts. 2 Adepts moving out. Does he see this? Yeah, Zuka sees this. All right, so he does check out that there's 2 Adepts coming instead of the customary 1, which means you need Queens. You'd probably need more Lings than you were planning on having here. Yeah, the Queen coming down to the main to help with this. Is he making any more Zerglings? Keeping with the 4. Boy, I don't know about this. This is a little bit of a different opening for sure. Oh, is it going to be Resonating Glaives too? Twilight Council just about done for Vampywurm. Queens immediately stabbing away. Again, this is what you do when there's 1 Adept, but if there's 2, look at him try to sneak up here inside the main base. And are there enough Lings? Great positioning here by the Adept. Going to get rid of these Zerglings pretty darn quickly and then start in on the drones. And the Queens extended themselves off creep. They're pushing creep tumors instead. And one of the Queens does actually finish off an Adept here. But there are 2 drones that have been killed, which is not something you want. 2 drones killed this early. Pretty bad news. I mean, usually there's another one. Is that another dead? Or is that a Zergling? I don't know what it was, but the Adepts are out. Adepts are out. So, I don't know. We traded an Adept for a couple drones. Yeah. All right. Seems fair. And meanwhile, we have a proxy. We've got a proxy from Vampywurm, Gateway, and a Dark Shrine over here. This thing is going to be some kind of a Dark Templar drop, possibly, or an Archon drop. Actually, no sign of drops because we don't have a robotics facility, rather. Never mind. So this is going to be DTs. There's that third base for Zuka Sajini coming up right now as the expansion for Vampywurm is going down. So the timing's working out okay for Zuka Sajini. It was a little bit hairy there for a second. Evolution Chamber coming up for him and really just droning up. 33 to 25 total harvesters for the Zerg player right now. And here are our first Dark Templar. 3 of them coming in. And they're going to move right on. Do they want to get rid of this third base? Do they want to start killing stuff at the natural? Oh, Zergling attack at the front door, though. Getting rid of this pylon. No photon overcharge for you. And this base, I think it's going to go down. Oh, this is not great. There is actually detection here at the natural base. And the Spore Crawler in the form of a Spore. A lot of probes are going down here at the natural base. I mean, by a lot, 3, but whatever. Forcing that cancel. DT really going to town on this main, though. Yeah, the queen can see them, but that doesn't mean she can actually stop them. This DT is trying to get rid of... Oh, the drone's on the attack, and they say before you can take down the Spore Crawler. Spore Crawler dead here in the main. The main is going to have to be evacuated pretty much straight up. The base for Vampy Worm is gone, and this is turning into a pretty intense game, trading essentially a base for a base right here. 6 drones have been killed. Pretty good reaction time, and there we go. 3 queens, transfuse, keeping that queen alive, and the DT's taking shots. More DTs joining the party, though. I don't know about this. Yeah, they're going to head up inside the main base, where, again, there is no detection. One of the drones is planning on making a spore at some point, but it doesn't really matter because it will be killed. And the Overlord does scout this little proxy by Vampy Worm. Lings here trying to take it out, but a good warping. Making sure that's a little bit harder for the Zerglings to take out than they would have otherwise liked. The lair is under direct assault by these DTs. There's no detection whatsoever. I think there's the lair. It's gone. Losing a queen too. Another queen dead. These DTs are incredibly active right now. 3 queens, 13 lings, 12 drones, 39 to 28 total harvesters. Spawning pool, man, if that goes down, that's going to hurt. For Zuka Sagini, I think it is. I think it's going to go down. There's nothing even close to coming to save that thing. More Dark Templar here at this 3rd base location. There's a single queen and a bunch of lings that are going to come try to save it. I think that's going to be enough here as they get a surround on the DTs. They harm it immensely. Dark Templar wandering here into the natural base. It's the circle of life on the drones, and the Spore Crawler going to go down. This natural base going to die too. What is happening? Roaches in... Oh, finally an Overseer for Zuka Sagini. Did he make one of those before the lair died? I think he must have. The natural base is going to be saved. There are enough roaches here to save this thing for sure, especially if they're trying to kill the roaches instead of the base. So, wow. Zuka Sagini just took a right hook to the jaw. 22 drones killed, 20 lings killed, a lair down, Spore Crawler's out, queen's dead, spawning pool dead here too. But I mean, Vampy Worm is not necessarily looking too strong himself. Yeah, he's got 2 bases with 36 workers compared to 35. So it's 2 base to 2 base. Replacement spawning pool coming up here at the natural base. More DTs joining the party here for Vampy, but no, I don't think this is really going to work out too well. Oh no, the roaches didn't see it. Oh, Dark Templar hacking away at these drones. Already has 5 kills and finally gets surrounded and murdered. 26 drones killed. Ay caramba. That is painful. That is painful to watch, but excellent DT harass. The problem is he didn't kill the Zerg player. The Zerg player is still alive, is replacing his main base, which has an extractor remaining after all of that aggression by the Protoss player. Got an Archon, got Zealots and Stalkers and stuff. Robotics facility now coming up for the Protoss player, Vampy Worm. And finally, a group of roaches do have the wherewithal and the ability to get rid of this little proxy here. And not for roaches where DTs can't just warp in and deal with it. There's also an Overseer overhead. Man, if you didn't have this Overseer, if you couldn't get it out before that lair died, that would have been real bad news. Real bad news for Zuka here. Reminds me of Zuka Juice. Zuka Juice was, let's see, was a kind of a juice bar kind of a thing, smoothie kind of a thing. I believe it's Jamba Juice now. I don't know if that was a name change or if it was an entirely different franchise that took over, but when I was in college, way back in the year 2000, yep, you guys, 2000, Zuka Juice was the thing. Charge being researched by Vampy Worm for them charge lots and getting a 3rd base here too. I don't know. Can he protect this? He's got 3 Stalkers, an Adept, a Dark Templar, an Archon, and 5 Zealots. Maybe he does. Active forces, 1,400 compared to 1,700 or 1,900? Yeah, all right. Looks like he probably has enough to do it. And a 4th base on the way for Zuka here too at the gold base. So he's going to have, he is on 3 bases. He's going to have 4 here pretty shortly. So he's recovering as a master level player should be able to do in StarCraft 2. Yeah, he took a lot of hits, but he didn't fall apart. He didn't lose his head. Overlord scouting around, almost gets picked off by those Stalkers, but no, does manage to survive. Can it get over here to the dead space? Yes. Stalkers can't get him here. And then he's going to morph into an Overseer and recover all of that HP. Did he never kill this Warp Gate? No, Zuka never killed this Warp Gate, which is hilarious. Overlord is scouting the 3rd base location. He sees that it's here and thinks about it. Is he thinking about attacking it? He's got a bunch of Ravagers trying to kind of hold map control here. Spreading creep fairly well. Big fan of this creep spread. Considering how insane this game has been, this is really good creep spread from the Zerg player. I am impressed. So this Gateway Scout? Yeah, this Gateway can tell there's a base here. I don't know. I guess maybe Zuka doesn't care if Vampy knows. Probably doesn't care if Vampy knows. Replacement Dark Shrine on the way. Probably wants more Archons. And a Forge coming up for those upgrades too. Warp Gate, gone. Goodbye, Mr. Warp Gate. It was nice knowing you. Glial Reconstitution, +2 melee attack. Oh, man, he's getting +2 melee attack after all of this. He must have had +1 on the way during that attack that I didn't notice. That's amazing. Baneling Speed here too. Centrifugal hooks, and here comes Vampy Worm with a pretty big attack. It's mostly gateway units, but there is an Archon, and there are a couple Immortals, so not entirely gateway. I like the presence of the Immortals here against the Roach count that is here. It's mostly Roach Ravager, but there are 12 Roaches. And here we go, coming up to the edge of the creep in the Xel'Naga Watchtower, and good force fields, keeping a lot of the Roaches out of the battle. Bunch of Ravagers just getting massacred. Wrong side of the force fields, man. Corrosive Biles trying to land and hit stuff instead of getting rid of the force field. We haven't seen a Ravager hit actually take out a horse field in a while, but Vampy Worm decides to retreat regardless. It's a pretty big follow-up. Pretty strong follow-up here. He's standing in the shallows. Just hanging out, no big deal. Got some more gateway units going to join the party. No Warp Prism with this army. I feel like he could probably use one. He's got a robotic facility, but he's using it to pump Immortals completely. Yeah, that's probably a bit of a tip. Bring a Warp Prism with you so you can warp directly to the front. 4th base gold under attack. This Archon already has 3 kills. Just focusing down this hatchery like it's made of paper mache and it's gone. Woo! That is pretty fantastic stuff. The Immortal count helps with that. 3 Immortals. Archon trailing behind. Good force fields. Actually might keep that Archon alive with his... Nope, never mind. He's dead with his 5 hit points. Completely dead. Pretty good force fields. Kind of keeping the Zerg player from getting a nice concave. And everybody gets the heck out. Did he recall? Ah, he did recall to his 3rd base. I was going to say, where'd that army go? I took my eye off them for just a second. And here they are at the 3rd. So that 4th base is out for Zuka. He could replace it. He really should be replacing it right now. He's got a lot of idle drones. There we go. There's the replacement. A little bit late. Again, this isn't GM. This isn't Pro. This is right in between. They're pretty good skilled players, but little tiny details are something they can kind of miss here. I don't think that's enough army for Zuka. He's got, okay, more Ravagers are joining the party. We got the +1 missile attack, which is nice. Working on Pathogen Glands. He's planning on getting Infestor out at some point here. Corrosive Biles being dodged ably by the Vampy Worm. Any force fields to show up here is kind of keeping that energy. Actually, by that I mean he has a sentry. So yeah, trying to keep that energy for when he needs it. Right now is definitely not when he needs it. 1 Infestor in production. He will have the Pathogen Glands upgrade, or she will. More GTs on the way. Got Robotics Bay just now finishing for Vampy Worm. And Corrosive Biles hitting a couple Zealots. I mean, they're just more zoning. There we go. Some decent hits, but Vampy Worm walking right up to this army. Force fielding out half of it. And Corrosive Biles doing some massive damage, but also the hits of the Stalkers, of the Immortals. The Ravager count is plummeting right now. There's only 2 of them remaining, and I think they're both going to die. Yeah, one of them dead. And, man, this Archon is chasing with 40 hit points. Don't mind him. He's very strong. Do you have an Observer with this army? I don't think so. And he doesn't want to extend too far into creep, so saving his 3rd base and basically destroying the Zerg army is exactly what he came here to do. 5th base just now popping for Zuka just outside of that main base and down the cliff. Disruptors on the way for Vampy Worm. Haven't seen Disruptor on the channel recently. I want to say it's been a while since we've had that. So Disruptor hits. Going to be a big deal here. I actually have not been keeping up on the proposed changes. Proposed balance update changes, which haven't come out yet. But have they kept the one where Disruptor hits actually explode on first contact with the enemy instead of after a set amount of time? That was an interesting change that I think Protoss players are not super happy about. Just because, obviously, I mean, against a lower level player, it doesn't really matter. They're going to clump their stuff up anyway. But against a player who knows what they're doing, they'll send a certain, like, 1 Zergling out or 1 Zealot out and trigger it so it explodes on one thing, and then it's no big deal. It's on a huge cooldown after that, you know? Don't ya know? Alright, so Zuka trying to do this thing without Infestor support. He's got Infestors, I just don't know where they are. Trailing behind, I suppose. Catching some transferring units between the 4th and the 3rd base. Meanwhile, some Lings here inside the main trying to do stuff too. Holding the top of the ramp is Zuka. Mothership Core here hanging out. Are there enough Ravagers? The DTs are here. Overseers are detecting them though, so that's okay. Lings on top of the Immortals. It's exactly what the Zerg player wants. I don't think there are enough of them though, and wow, that Zerg army just got massacred too. Lings trying to pick off a Disruptor as it pops out of the robotics facility. Got some more Lings here. Could probably attack into this third if they wanted. But again, the multitasking not necessarily there for Zuka. What is he even focusing on? That was a perfect position. There was a little tiny window there for the Lings to come in. They're right up here. They're right next door. +2 attack on them too. Contaminate. Toss down on that robotics facility. No more Disruptors for you, Mr. Vampy Worm. How many Disruptors are actually out? One? One is actually out, and yeah, these Lings, I don't know that Zuka remembers that they exist. I really don't. Neither player knows that they're right next to each other right now because of this high ground advantage. 4th base just now coming in for the Vampy, and a 5th base coming in down south. Actually, already done for Zuka. Dang. So his macro is pretty strong, but I don't know that his map awareness is really there either. Whoa! Swarm Host transition from Zuka. Watching that production tab. All right, so Swarm Host going to be the show of the day here. Vampy just needs to not engage. Swarm Hosts are going to be all right against this composition. Did he see those? Does he know about the Swarm Host? He's going on to the creep. He's got an observer with him, picking off creep tumors. Where are those tumors? There's one. Where's another one? Die, Overlord. This has been an engagement of Vampy Worm. That's what he's thinking in his mind as he's doing this. Burrow being researched by Zuka. Surprised it's so late. I don't know if he knows about the Swarm Host. I think if he knew, he might be switching this up a little bit because this army composition, not great. Not great against Swarm Host. He'd probably want, I mean, Disruptor, good. Anything with splash damage is pretty good, but this Zealot count, not so fantastic. Oh, did he see that? He saw that. He saw that. And here we go. Locust trying to join the party. There's the fungal. Oh, a fungal combination with no corrosive bile and locusts. Whoa, that is a pretty good combination there. Not enough to kill the Protoss player, mind you. These Archons are still in the front, and they are still extremely angry right now. They're holding court between the natural base and the 4th base. Marching right into the natural. Oh, Infestation Pit's right at the front door. Gone. Baneling Nest also going to die, and this cooldown on the Swarm Host is a long time. Swarm Host need to get out of there. Swarm Host, don't get surrounded. Is there a Nidus network you can run into or something? No? Ah! What is his composition right now for Zuka? He's got 6 Swarm Hosts, 3 Roaches. This is real bad for the Zerg player. Main base gone again for the 2nd time in this game. These guys can pop Locust, but they're choosing not to. Instead, attention seems to be elsewhere. Where on earth? He's watching those Lings that he should have been paying attention to 5 minutes ago. All right, so fine. They come into the 3rd base and they do wreak some havoc, but this army is still sitting on your side of the map, still kind of trying to destroy everything you've got. It's 75 to 39 total harvesters. That is a problem, actually, for Vampy, but he does have the army advantage without question. There's 31 Roaches for Zuka. He's floating 5,000, 1,500 resources right now. Natural base gone. Evolution Chambers gone. Replacement spawning pool, probably the next target here too. Mothership Core joining just in case there has to be a recall at some point here. But this is, I don't know. I don't know what Zuka's doing. He's getting 13 Hydras and muscular augments. So a Roach Hydra composition against this, I don't feel good about it as a Zerg player myself. There are 4 Immortals here. Ooh, this 4th base gonna die. Yeah, there are 4 spine crawlers, but doesn't really matter against this particular army, which has +2 attack. And there's a lot of them, mind you. This is biological, right? Yep, buildings are biological. Oh, Hydra's popping out. Wrong place. Wrong place to pop out is when the army is right on top of the place you were born. Jeez. All right, so technically the Zerg player is down to 3 bases. He's trying to make another one here. Kind of to the right-ish of that gold base he has running the army. Is he going to base race? Zuka, he's going to try to concave. I think he's going to try to concave this thing from all sides. And going to do all right. Purification Nova whiffs mostly there. Overseer flying over just to make sure any of these Dark Templar do not have a field day with this army. Yeah, the Immortals are just crushing. 22, 33, 9. I mean, the Immortals are okay. They're doing just fine. Number of Roaches that have died in this game is 55, mostly to these Immortals. 104 to 86 total supply. Vampy Worm has that lead. He's on the 4 base. He's not taking a 5th, which I feel like he could probably afford to do. But he's feeling, I'm sure his APM and his heart rate are pretty high right now. Yeah, 200 APM, average of 246 for the game. So that new 4th base does pop for Zuka. But in production, just more and more Hydralisks. I guess Hydras are not bad here, assuming you can split against the Purification Nova. There are 3 Disruptors. hanging out by this Zelninga Watchtower in the composition. No Hydra. No Hydra. Where are you going? Dying, apparently. Trying to rally up to this new 4th base. Mass Hydra. Hydra good. I'm not going to lie. +2 attack on these dudes, too. Some drones trying to transfer onto this 4th Nova in a couple Hydralisks. Another Nova. Pretty good splits by the Zerg player. Just don't think he has enough. Yeah, these Hydras are glass cannons coming from the back, trying to get a surround, but that's it. Good game. Well played from Zuka. Exactly 20 minutes and 0 seconds. Zuka's defeated, and Vampyworm is your victor. Excellent, excellent game between these two players. Wow, that was pretty much nonstop. Resources lost, 37,400 for Zuka compared to 2,100 for Vampyworm. Yeah, I mean, that was pretty efficient. Pretty efficient Protoss win there for sure. 78 drones killed, 44 probes. I mean, Vampyworm wasn't particularly strong economically there, but in the end, it was okay. I mean, what Zuka was trying to go for was a Swarm Host Fungal type combination, but I think the Archons were too good with their splash. 22 kills, 35 kills, 33 kills on those Archons. Immortal, 31 kills, 23 kills, 33 kills on these Immortals. Where's the 4th one at? Where's the 4th one at? 1, 2, 3... 33, 1, 2, 3. Where is it? It's really hard to tell with these skins. Is it up here? Disruptor, Immortal, 34 kills. All right, yeah. So those guys are responsible for many, many deaths. Many deaths of the Zerg. Excellent job by Vampyworm. 10 points to Gryffindor on that one, and that's going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.